Welcome back, everybody, to the Joey Orsborn Show. I'm your host, Joey Orsborn. We're finally back after a little holiday break for to talk about some of the biggest news in sports. And starting off today, I want to talk about the incident last night on Monday Night Football. Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin had what we are suspecting right now, comiodo cordis. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's a injury whenever someone is hit and it's upon the chest, and it stops their heart from beating for a little bit. So a very scary thing. Of course, we all probably have seen the injury, and definitely it was very horrible to see. Thankfully, they canceled the game. And then definitely now we don't know what's happening with that Buffalo Bills Bengals game, but I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter right now. All that matters right now is Damar Hamlin and his health situation. Thankfully, there's been some good news in that front here earlier tonight. CNN talked of his uncle Dorian Glenn. They said his heart went out twice and had to be resuscitated, so very scary. Once in the field, and apparently when they got to the hospital, had to do it again. Thankfully, he says, thankfully, the medical staff, if not for them, my nephew would probably wouldn't be here. It's great shout out to all the people in Cincinnati right now tweeting him. Seems like they've done a very good job, and we continue that things continue to go in the right direction because there's been some definitely positive news tonight. Let's see what else here. He is on a ventilator right now because he's having trouble breathing, but we heard that last night. Nothing's changed right now on that, but they had last night. He said 100%. Now only 50% today, so that's very good improvement from what I understand. I'm not a doctor or anything here, but that's definitely very good, and we're happy to see though. He says right now his nephew's flipped over on his stomach in the hospital to help with the blood on his lungs. It's supposed to help him be able to breathe easier, so that's I think Leslie that's used a lot in this situation. Though this is I do want to say here, this is from my understanding, it's a very rare injury to occur. It's I'm not gonna say it's like a one in a million, but it seems like it's something that's like that. Like it's very rare to happen, but this is one of the sad times that it did actually happen. Great news is he's seems to be recovering. He's not out of the woods yet, but we're all hoping and praying. I know definitely last night was, I think, a scary night for any NFL fan. I know definitely I was very concerned after seeing and hearing about it. It's definitely a shock because it's something like you never want to see an NFL player go through that, especially something this severe, and especially a man who is a very good person. I know definitely. I think a lot of people now have started to see all the great stuff he's done. I know in Pittsburgh, he's from McKees Rock, so he's a local boy here. Doing a lot of great things. A toy drive, with donations. I think after last night, I think it's now like 5.6 million. Who've been able to contribute, so that's been great. I know I shared that link on my social medias, both my personal and this one for the show. If you guys want to donate, I have the links out right now, and if anyone needs them out again, just DM me on either one, and just ask for them, and I can send my way. But there's also a bunch of people with them out there as well, so if you just look it up, you'll find it's a GoFundMe. But basically, it's at first it was for a toy drive for Christmas of kids, like underage kids. He started in college because he also went to University of Pitt, so another guy like I've known this guy for a while now, even before this even began. But yeah, now it's expanded over with things that he does in the community to help with all sorts of stuff. That due to donations being so big, it's way more than it needs for the toy thing. So they're gonna thankfully move it out to all sorts of stuff. I know his parents, I think, run a daycare. I think from my understanding they run it. So I think some of it's gonna get to help out them, continue to better serve the people that they serve in the community. But it seems like a very upstanding man. And it's just a shame what happened to him. I know definitely there's been some people who have said some things that aren't okay. I know Skip Bayless is one of them, and honestly, that's just utterly disgusting what he said. I'm not going to go into detail, but like, you guys have probably already seen it. It's something I don't think anyone can condone. I don't condone it. It's a little amazing he was able to go on his show today, but he did apparently. definitely didn't watch. I've never really watched him to begin with. I don't think he's that good. But that's just my opinion. I'm not a fan of his. But yeah, so definitely there was some weird things, but right now the main thing is just making sure this man is going to, survive this. Definitely keep praying for him. I know right now, I think everyone, all NFL had a whole little playoff thing, like they kept tweeting out stuff. I think every team's done a good job about it. I know the Steelers, a lot of them canceled. The Steelers did not, but him being a local boy, Mike Tomlin had some things to say today. I said he's known him since he was 12 years old. He said some great things about him. Coach Narduzzi for the Pitt Panthers as well said some good things, very nice things today. This has been definitely so much outpouring. It's great to see, honestly. I know you can see people outside the hospital, like Bengals, Bills fans coming together just to support him. Was just amazing to see. I know there was even a Chargers fan in the one video. It's like fans from every team were coming out. I know definitely Pittsburgh. There's been a lot outpouring due to the fact that not only is everyone else, but the other thing is too, he's a Pittsburgh kid. He's from the Keysport Walk, which it's not far from Pittsburgh. He went to Pitt. Was very good at Pitt. So definitely it's been a tough situation for a lot of people, especially Bills fans. Bills Mafia has done so much to help out people. I know definitely they've been known to donate a lot of money to very great charitable causes. I know when Lamar Jackson got hurt in the playoff game, they donated a lot to his charity. When Josh Allen's grandmother died, they donated a lot to I think it was a children's hospital, but it couldn't have been a regular hospital. But they donated a lot of money. So they've done so many great things. So it's great to see that not just them, but the whole NFL right now is just pouring out of support and donations to its charitable causes and stuff. It's great to see. It's nice to see the rest of the NFL is kind of returning to favor the Bills Mafia. I think everyone's been there to support them. I know Coach Tom of the Steelers reached out to McDormand, has been offering support and things. I know they're very close friends from going William Mary together. It's just great to see right now that the whole NFL is just coming together right now, just giving support to this young man who just something awful, just horrible has happened to him. Just we're all praying for the best. I know I've definitely been playing a lot too, hoping that he will get better. But it was just very scary. You gotta feel bad for the family. They were at the game, they saw it happen. I think nearly everyone saw it. I know his uncle said he was in Pittsburgh watching with Damar's brother, and they saw it on TV. It's just you can't imagine how it must have felt for them. So keep them in your prayers as well. But yeah, if you want to donate, I have links. I think they're still out there as of right now. But they're everywhere. You can just look it up. You'll be able to find it. But if you need help with that, just DM me with my personal accounts or my show accounts, and I'll try to help. And I'll help you guys out to get that link. But yeah, some scary stuff. And then of course with it, the game temporarily delayed and then now postponed. And right now, what we know is we don't know if the game's still going to play. It seems like it will because due to it having massive playoff implications for the AFC. But it will not happen this week, which is definitely a good thing because I think there's no way this thing could be played this week. The Bills playoffs, even the Bengals playoffs, has just gone through too much. This is definitely traumatic for all of them. We saw a lot of them crying. Both teams just crying and, dealing with this because, it's very heartbreaking to see. But definitely, T. Higgins, he was right next to him. He's been going. He definitely seems like he's taking it very hard. So keep him in your prayers as well, because he's not at fault for this, and I'm sure he's realizing that. But it's still tough to grasp that this is happening. So keep everyone in your prayers there in both these organizations, because I know the Bengals, they are not taking it either really that easily, because it's if you see something like that, it's just it's awful. And last night we saw the ugly side of football, which is sadly even though we don't want to see it, it is there, and it's always been there and always will be there. But last night we really saw just something that was just horrible to see. So continued prayers, of course, for Damar Hamlin and his whole family. I know definitely prayers for the people at Pitt football here who he's an alum there. He has close friends. Anyone related to that pedal existence played for him, I'm sure, is going for a rough time. So, definitely, I think Dane Jackson, who's was a teammate at Pitt, now a teammate in Buffalo, who had had the serious injury early on the year. Somehow was only out for one game, luckily, but he also plays on the Bills. So he's going for a rough time. Definitely a lot of great Pitt players out there. I know Kenny Pickett is good friends with him, so he's probably going for a decent bit here. But yeah, it's definitely been off to see. So let's just continue to pray and hope for the best. Thankfully, it's looking like something good is going to happen and he will recover, thankfully. But, we still don't know at this time, but thankfully it's starting to look like it's leaning that way, which is very great to see. So of course, plus NFL schedule changes. As of right now, Week 18 is still set in stone. We don't know if it's going to get moved or not, honestly. In my opinion here, I think they should move it. I don't think it's appropriate to play this week due to what has occurred here last night. I think at least sure the Bills should not be allowed to play this week. I don't think they're ready for it. Even if there's no backups, they don't really care. Still, every single player on that team is affected by this. If they're not gonna be able to practice well, and who knows if they need time with their families. They should not be playing a football game. Football right now for that whole team is the least of their concerns. And I think the NFL needs to realize that and just say, okay, I think they do need to make major schedule moves here. That's just my opinion here. But as of right now, nothing yet here. But Week 18 is right now staying the same. So I guess Bills, New England is still on here, which I'm surprised, but I don't think it should be on. I think they need to delay it. I still think they need to play a Bengals game as well, too, because it has major, implications on the whole AFC. There are multiple teams' playoff chances right now that all depend on that game. Now, does that game need to be played this week? No, of course not. It's not going to be, thankfully. And next week, I don't know if they should be playing the Patriots next week. I don't know if I think they may need some more time here. But the NFL needs to make sure they give the Bills enough time to be, not only physically prepared, but mentally prepared, because this has been traumatic for them. And I don't think it's fair to force them on a football field to play a game after something like this happened, for giving them rest. I know they've done a good job offering, resources, supplies, emotional comfort to the players. They've been working with the Players Association here on that, which is very good. They have definitely outreached a lot. I know there were some false reports of them trying to restart the game afterwards, but those reports were later revealed to be wrong. The NFL, of course, did not do that, and they're a little shocked that something like that would even try to report something like that, because it's nothing that they would have done. But yeah, so definitely, I think right now, my opinion here, it's probably not going to happen, but I think they need to move all of Week 18 back a week. I think every single team should get a bye here. This isn't trying to any football player, any football playing team that, they realize that could have been them. And I think players need time with their families. They need some rest. I don't think it's appropriate to play this week under these circumstances. And I think they just either need to get rid of the Super Bowl bye, or they need to, honestly here, I would say, delay the playoffs and the Super Bowl a week. Just delay it. It's not as big of a deal as this is. Right now, Damar Hamlin is the biggest deal right now. Week 18, compared to that, doesn't matter. The playoffs doesn't matter at this point. What matters is his health and his safety. And, the mental health of the Bills and the Bengals and all the other teams have been affected. But truly, just in general, all the people who worked so hard, and I know medical people, first responders, they did a tremendous job last night. And I know the people at the Orsborn Cincinnati have done a great job. Continued prayers right now, and then, of course, the NFL, I'm sure they'll figure out a good way to deal with this. Yeah, I know there's not many options right now, but I'm sure they'll figure out a way. And we'll be back to watching football soon, and hopefully Damar Hamlin will be able to get back out there as soon as he can if he wants to, or if not, of course, honestly, we're just hoping for a speedy recovery, and that he's able to just live his life to the fullest here, and not have to worry about anything like this happening. Now let's move on to the NFL playoff picture here. Now, a lot of this, I was going to talk today a lot about it, but with what's happened, we don't know what exactly is going to happen. My playoff picture right now it's hard. And that's just because we don't know what's going to happen here. But in my opinion, NFL playoffs, we by now one for the 6 seeds. Pretty much for like all those teams are in. It's right now we're just waiting on the 7 seeds, and right now I'm just gonna say NFC wise, I'm thinking it's gonna be the Packers. I want it to be the Lions, but I think the Packers will probably edge through. But on the AFC side, this is the problem right now. It's with just now Buffalo not being able to play last night. It leaves a gap on not only who's gonna get the 1 or the 2 seed, but it also has dependence on who's getting in the playoffs. Because right now, both Miami and Pittsburgh's playoff chances rest on them being New England, and we don't know if that game's getting played here. So hopefully it is, because I think it has to, because it has massive playoff implications on not one but 2 teams. So I don't think it's fair to let New England in if they haven't played all the games they need to play, and I don't think it's fair to both teams here, Miami and Pittsburgh, that they don't get a shot. But of course, you have to wait for the Bills, because it's also not fair if they're forced to play when they're not mentally, or physically able to. If all that's happened, so I think they need to wait. That's why I'm saying they need to delay Week 18. Cause like I don't think they should limit the games to the Bills. I get this. Like, that just puts them in an unfair advantage against teams like the Chiefs, who are going to get to play all 18 games or 17 games. They're going to, those teams that didn't lose the game, they're going to get an advantage over them. It's just, it doesn't seem fair to a lot of them. They're just dealing for a lot right now. So, honestly, playoff picture wise, I don't have much to say. I don't know who's getting in here. If it's going to be New England, Miami, or Pittsburgh. The way I see it, if the game Sunday against the Bills, New England happens, I think the Bills are winning. So I don't think New England's in. I think they're going to be out. Miami Jets. Miami's got to probably start Skylar Thompson. I don't. Against the Jets, even with Mike White, the Jets are definitely better than a Dolphins team with Skylar Thompson, the quarterback. I don't think Miami wins. Pittsburgh Browns. I do think Pittsburgh wins that. I don't. I can't. I don't really see them losing to the Browns again. They were a significantly better team than they were at Week 3. Everyone knows they're a significantly better team. I think the Browns right now, they're not as bad. I don't think they're that significantly better. I think Deshaun Watson has been, right now, a little bit of a mistake for the team. He has not performed well, in my opinion. I don't think he can really win this game. I think the Steelers, they're playing with heart right now. They know what they're playing for. And they're playing with abandon. Like, if you've seen the last 2 games, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit here, they're playing with heart and a file. And Cleveland, they're not playing with that. And I don't think Cleveland will. I think Cleveland is going to lose. I don't know how close it's going to be. But I think, and I know this is crazy, but it's just the way I see this. I think Pittsburgh gets in. And I can't. If you told me this like a couple of weeks ago, a month ago, I would have laughed at you. But I deep down knew some stupid reason the Steelers would somehow get in this position, and here they are again. And I know everything's looking perfect for them. They got that Buffalo team. Even if they play, on Sunday, I think they're gonna play with Damar in their hearts, and I think they're gonna try their hardest to win. And definitely win for him. I honestly, right now, I'm going to say this right now. I think the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl. I really think the Bills will win the Super Bowl this year. Not only do they have a very strong team this year, but after what all this happened to them, I think they're going to probably play with a passion that you rarely see. I think it's going to be a passion that, they're playing for a man here, for a teammate who they don't know what's going to happen, but they're going to have a passion. And they're going to work hard, and they're going to play hard. And I'm sorry, but I think they're going to win the Super Bowl right now. I'm just going to say it. They have everything they need to win the Super Bowl. They already have the team. And now with this, they're going to play with a file. And they're going to play with a file that not many teams are going to be able to play. They're going to play with a file that the Chiefs don't have, that the Bengals don't have, any team in the NFL is not going to have because they'll probably be playing for a cause. And I think they're going to win the Super Bowl. They've been waiting for this draft to end for a long time. Again, before them not winning in the 90s. I think they're going to win it this year. I really think, especially after this year, they're going to play with a file. And I think if you're a Bills fan, right now it's very sad. And of course, hopefully we're all playing for a recovery here. But I think definitely that this horse is going to help them out and just, help inspire them. And I think they're going to win it for Damar Hamlin. And honestly, I'm going to say this here. I really hope they do because Damar Hamlin is a great person and I'd love to see him get a ring. And I'd love to see that Bills team get a ring because they're great people. They're a family up there. They really are a family. Like, you can tell just the way that they interact with each other. You see them, like, you can tell they're a family. And I really am hoping that they win this year because they've been through a lot. And I really think they're going to play for file. Now, moving on here, some last year, two Steelers games we're going to talk about here. Steelers v. Raiders. Of course, was the 50th anniversary game of the Michael reception, and of course, before that, we had Franco Harris sadly pass away. So that was very sad for Pittsburgh. Definitely a very important man in our franchise. Basically, that catch turned around the whole Steelers franchise into what it is today. Like, it changed the Steelers' ways. So, it's not only great thanks to Franco Harris, and of course, his family right now dealing with all this. We just, continue to pray for them as well. Don't think about the Steelers-Raiders games, though. It was definitely a defensive showdown. I think Steelers defense-wise, they did very good. I was very impressed with their performance. Offense-wise, it had a lot of struggles. I think a lot of it was bad playing call by Canada again, but also some of it was just the elements. It was hard to throw the ball. Najee had a great game. I think that's for them was effective. But, it was definitely a hard game. I think every quarterback that week was struggling. Derek Carr struggled a lot more than Kenny Pickett did that game, but you could tell it was back in distance. His interception, Pickett's you could tell it was more conditions that played a factor into it than decision making. It wasn't the best decision, but it was more the factors. And with all the drop passes, you can tell it was the factors. So it wasn't the throws or anything. It was more the factors, the weather outside was affecting the game. You could definitely see that. But yeah, that final drive, though, I think that definitely showed you, every single Steelers fan, why Kenny Pickett is the guy for the Steelers. It showed you why. He came out and he won that game. He came in clutch. Definitely very great to see that. That's why we drafted the guy. Because we drafted a guy who we hope will be able to do and just perform in these moments. The game's on the line and can win the game for you, and he did that Saturday. On Christmas Eve, he did that in a spectacular drive, ending in a George Pickens touchdown. He looked like a spectacular player, and one who could be the quarterback for the Steelers for a very long time, and gave a lot of excitement to us for this week against the Ravens, finally getting to play them after getting knocked out of the first game early on due to a concussion. And so let's talk about this game for a little bit here. Well, I'm going to say here, basically, it was Steelers-Ravens football. It was easily that. The teams played great. Both teams, it was a very defensive showdown, like it always is. Both teams' rushing players were doing very well. I know J.K. Dobbins had a great day, and Najee Harris had a spectacular day, too. It was a very run-heavy game. There wasn't a lot of passing, but... there was a very controversial call that gave the Ravens a touchdown and the lead there, which it was a bad call. But basically, Steelers couldn't get much going, especially in the red zone. And then, last week, came the final drive, and Kenny Pickett came up clutch again, making spectacular for us. There was one to Steven Sims, though. It was, I think, 30 yards. It was a very great one. He's showing the signs here. I'm just going to say it right now. Kenny Pickett is showing the signs of being a franchise guy. And then the play at the end with the touchdown Najee Harris, you don't see that often. Most quarterbacks do not do that and can't do it. The only quarterbacks who can really do that are the elite quarterbacks in this league. And he made an elite play. Is he an elite player right now, Kenny Pickett? No, he's not. He is right now I would say, an above average rookie. He still has rookie plays. I think he's struggling with, OC who doesn't know what he's doing, and Matt Canada, who it seems like they will move away, thankfully, at the end of the season. But he's showing the shine. He's showing signs of being a franchise guy, and I think he is a franchise guy. Like that play at the end of the game against Baltimore, I don't think you would have seen Ben make that last year. You wouldn't have probably seen him make that in the last 5 years. Like that's a play like Trubisky would have never made that. I think there's a lot of players out there who wouldn't make that. Especially some very good ones. I don't think would have made that play, and he did. So I think right now he is thankfully the franchise guy. Now, if these two wins, we can now see, of course, a winning season, another winning season, which is crazy to think. But it also right now has shot us out of getting a good left tackle. So I'm going to talk about that more in the later episode here, draft-wise, because we still got some things to do here. But yeah, Steelers-wise, two very good weeks, and I'm very excited to see what happens this week against the Browns. Moving to some NBA here. Donavaun Mitchell made Cavs history last night by scoring 71 points and leading a rally against the Bulls and winning in overtime. So a spectacular game. Shout out to Donavaun Mitchell for a great play with 71 points. And they played this, and they did this without both Garland and Mobley. So it was a great game. It was a lot of great history made last night. Of course, it was definitely not as big of a deal due to Damar Hamlin's, injury, which was, of course, way more important and is way more important. But definitely, I just want to, talk about how Donavaun Mitchell has had a great season for the Cavs. He continued it again. And I'm just going to say, I think he needs to be the MVP this year. He's just done a great job. And I don't think I'm going to talk about much else here this episode. So I'd like to thank you guys for listening in, and I will see you later. Bye.